Hello, you're watching VNA News Bulletin. I'm Bảo Ngọc from Hanoi, and now headlines as usual. National Assembly elects new Vice President and top judicial officials. Giang Bang rice paper gets heritage status. Phú Thọ ready for Hung King Temple Festival. The National Assembly elected the new Vice President, Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court, and Prosecutor General of the Supreme People's Procuracy on April 8th. Đặng Thị Ngọc Thịnh won 450 votes, or 19.09% of the total National Assembly deputies, and became the new Vice President. She is currently a member of the party's Central Committee, Deputy Chief of the party's Central Committee's office, and also a lawmaker. With the support of 472 deputies, or 95.5% of the total, Nguyễn Hòa Bình, a secretary of the party's Central Committee and a National Assembly deputy, was elected the Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court. Lê Minh Trí, a party Central Committee member and Vice Chairman of the party's Central Committee's Commission for Internal Affairs, was named the Prosecutor General of the Supreme People's Procuracy with 316 votes in favor, or 63.97%. After being elected by the National Assembly, the Chief Justice of the Supreme People's Court, Nguyễn Hòa Bình, was sworn into office.
I swear to be absolutely loyal to the nation, the people, and the Constitution of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, unceasingly studying, practicing, and fulfilling all the duties assigned by the party, state, and people.
During the afternoon session on April 8th, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc submitted a list of personnel for the posts of Deputy Prime Ministers, Ministers, and other cabinet members. The list includes Politburo member Trương Hòa Bình, nominated as Deputy Prime Minister, Politburo member Vương Đình Huệ, head of the party's Central Committee Economic Commission, nominated as Deputy Prime Minister, and Party Central Committee member Trịnh Đình Dũng, nominated as Deputy Prime Minister. Politburo member and Chief of the Vietnam's People's Army General Department of Politics Ngô Xuân Lịch is nominated as Minister of National Defense. And Politburo member and Vice Minister of Public Security Tô Lâm is nominated as Minister of Public Security. Earlier, National Assembly deputies approved the proposal of relieving Deputy Prime Ministers, a number of ministers, and other cabinet members of their duty. A foreign ministry delegation visited the Lao embassy in Hanoi on April 8th and congratulated its staff on Lao's traditional Bun Pi Mai festival.
Deputy Foreign Minister Đặng Đình Quý wished the Lao ambassador and the embassy staff happiness and success in the new year. He congratulated Laos on its enormous achievements across the board, while reiterating that Vietnam consistently treasures and promotes its traditional solidarity and special amity with its neighbor. The official added he hopes the two sides will fortify result-oriented cooperation in order to live up to their people's aspirations and interests. Lao Ambassador Thong Savang from Vihan thanked the Deputy Foreign Minister for the congratulations and acknowledged the massive and effective assistance that the Vietnamese party, state and people have given to his country throughout history. Both nations have obtained important socio-economic accomplishments over the last 5 years, he said, voicing his hope that their all-faceted cooperation will be solidified in a substantive manner to benefit the two peoples.
A wide range of book titles are being showcased at 14 booths during the 3rd Vietnamese Book Day, which opened in the northern province of Ninh Bình on April 8th.
The two-day event is part of local efforts to develop a reading culture among local people. It helps affirm the importance of books and encourage people to get involved in book collection, publication, and preservation. More than 80 documents and maps confirming Vietnam's ownership of Trường Sa and Hoàng Sa archipelagos are also on display at an exhibition held for the Book Day. It is expected to raise public awareness of national solidarity and the responsibility for protecting national sovereignty. The event also includes exchanges on reading culture, as well as a painting contest on local renovations through students' eyes.
A festival to commemorate the death of the Hung Kings, the legendary founders of Vietnam, will be held from April 12 to 16 in the Midland province of Phu Thọ. The organizing board says it has been working hard to prepare for the annual event. Hung King's Temple Festival is an occasion for Vietnamese to remember and pay tribute to the contribution of the Hung Kings, who are the traditional founders of the nation and become its first emperors. Beginning as a local holiday, the ceremony was recognized as a national holiday in 2007. Every year, thousands of people flock to Hung King Temple to offer incense in tribute to the national ancestors. The worshipping ritual of the Hung Kings was recognized as UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity in 2012. This year's festival will see the participation of the northern province of Hưng Yên, the central province of Bình Thuận, and the southern province of Cà Mau. To date, preparations in terms of infrastructural facilities, the range of activities, as well as measures to ensure social order and safety are being carefully implemented.
Chúng tôi cũng đã hoàn thiện công tác chuẩn bị cơ sở vật chất.
We have sped up our work to open infrastructural facilities to the public in time for the festival, beautifying recreational parks and ornamental gardens. We have also worked with relevant forces to tightly control business activities to provide the best services to visitors.
Đậm nét các tuyên truyền cổ động trực quan.
This year's event will see a string of activities, with highlights being a street festival in Việt Trì City, a cultural concert, and a firework display. The traditional craft of making dew-wetted rice paper, or bánh tráng phơi sương in Vietnamese, in Trang Bang District, Tây Ninh Province, has been recognized as the National Intangible Cultural Heritage.
A recent ceremony to grant the certificate honored 11 craftsmen for contributing to preserving and developing the craft. The Provincial People's Committee also hailed the contributions of authorities and residents of Trang Bang District to preserving the craft, which has gradually become a mainstay of Tây Ning's culinary culture. Bánh tráng phơi sương is made by leaving rice papers outside overnight for them to be moistened by dew, which adds a unique flavor to the food. The dew-wetted rice paper is usually served with boiled pork, vegetables, and fish sauce. Dew-wetted rice paper was also among 8 other delicacies recognized by the Asian Record Organization in 2013. It was recognized as part of Vietnam's national cultural heritage by the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism in October 2015.
The shortage of long-term capital coupled with low competitiveness should be blamed for the rising number of firms going bankrupt and temporarily halting operations in the first quarter of 2016. More in the following report.
The General Statistics Office revealed that more than 2,900 businesses closed down in the first quarter of this year, representing a rise of 13.8% over the same period last year. Of note, 93% of them was small enterprises with registered capital below 10 billion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $446,500. Struggling firms that were forced to temporarily halt operations in the quarter totaled more than 20,000, rising by 23.9% against the same period. The shortage of long-term stable capital makes it difficult for firms to survive for long periods. Many firms did not dare to invest in technology and equipment due to the shortage of capital and unstable borrowing interest rates. The Vietnam Association of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises said it was important to improve the health of businesses with strengths based on technology and high-quality resources. Local firms must reduce their dependence on imported raw materials while paying attention to improving their technology and quality of human resources to enhance their competitiveness in this era of rapid global integration. On the plus side, in the first quarter of this year, more than 23,700 firms were founded with total registered capital of 186 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to $8.3 billion, a rise of 24.8% and 67.2% over the same period last year, respectively.
In the following report, join us to learn about teacher Trần Văn Công, a researcher in French literature. The veteran teacher at Hanoi University has spent years connecting Vietnamese and French literature.
Trần Văn Công has been a familiar name to the French-speaking community in Vietnam for years. The 46-year-old is the youngest ever head of Hanoi University French Language Department. He is also a writer, journalist, and a translator of literary works. In any role, he always makes a significant contribution.
To me, translating literary works is simply a passion, as I work as a teacher of the French language. I translate literary works in French and Vietnamese because I want to express my love for literature.
Công has done lots of research on French literature. He became known internationally thanks to research he published on Marguerite Duras, a French writer who had a close connection to Vietnam. Công thesis on the writer earned him a PhD degree when he studied in Belgium.
When I was studying a postgraduate course in Paris, I had a chance to read French contemporary literary works, including those about Vietnam by Marguerite Duras. I decided to study her works to help the French understand more about the Vietnamese culture described in her works.
Over the past 20 years, Công has translated many films and literary works from French to Vietnamese. He has also helped introduce young Vietnamese writers' works to the French-speaking world through his translations. Công has worked with Nhã Nam to translate several works by French writers, Marguerite Duras and Anna Gavanda. Additionally, he also plays an important part in seminars organized by Nhã Nam. He's really our partner.
Việc chuyển ngữ các tác phẩm Pháp sang Việt cũng như là các cái chương trình giới thiệu sách của Nhã Nam.
To different generations of students of the French language departments of Hanoi and Huế universities, Công is the one who passes on the love of French literature to them. Apart from giving lectures, Công provides with interesting stories relating to French literary works and writers. We also have the chance to present reports to him about French stories or writers. His feedback helps us have a better understanding of French literature. After years helping connect Vietnamese and French literature, Công intends to write his own novel in French, the language he has adored his whole life.
And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.